And so it was that I began my stonemason's apprenticeship with Giovanni in Rome. I have to say that I felt at peace there. He taught me so much about the beauty of stone and the splendor of architecture. Everything was as perfect as my life could be. Until one day, as the summer began, Giovanni's daughter, Luciana, came home from boarding school. I had never seen such a beautiful and spoiled child in my life. I fled to my cellar in fear. I did not know how to speak to a girl. She was beautiful, so beautiful. I remember all that summer. I avoided her, and the more I avoided her, the more she became obsessed. After all, what greater interest is there than the mystery of a man wearing a mask? One night she came down to my cellar, and I was working on my inventions, as I was wont to do after a day's work. She was furious. Why was it that I spent so much time tinkering with bits of wire, but I ignored her? How could I explain to her? I ignored her because I loved her. And because I loved her, I feared her. She proceeded to run amok. She smashed my inventions, she smashed my automatons, and I was furious. If I could have put my hands around her throat, I would have crushed the life from her. But I was restrained. Giovanni dragged her away and explained to her that how close she had come to pushing me beyond all reasonable limits. She demanded that I remove my mask. All summer long we had hurt and tortured each other, and it had come to pass that this night was when everything came to a head. She called upon me to remove my mask, and I refused. And Lucia, foolish girl that she was, would not believe that I was ugly underneath. She was convinced that I wore the mask as some disguise of vanity. I refused to remove my mask and walked away, but Giovanni stopped me. He said to me, "Erik, remove your mask." I had never shown Giovanni my face, and he had always accepted my privacy. I assume he had guessed that I wore the mask for a reason more than just vanity. I felt betrayed by him in that moment, although, looking back fully understand why he did what he did. But at the time, I felt utterly betrayed by him. That I was to reveal my face after everything that we had been through together. And so, I removed my mask and turned towards Luciana. She fled in horror from this face. She fled in horror. She flung herself against the stone balustrade that ran around the roof terrace, and it crumbled beneath her. She fell to the courtyard below. I can still see her broken body now, lying on the flagstones of Giovanni's courtyard, like a little broken doll. I left Rome and returned to the life in the traveling fairs. Brought me to a place called Nizhny Novgorod. And there, a new chapter in my life started. A chapter of adventure and mystery.